ఐటీలో ఎంట్రీ కావాలా? ట్రైనీ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్ గా అజా కోడింగ్ ట్యూటర్ లో 2 వీక్స్ ట్రయల్ పీరియడ్ లో వెంటనే చేరండి.
Hello guys, my name is Srinivas Rao. I am a Python trainer. I have 20 years experience which includes in project as well as teaching experience. So today we'll be discussing about debugging concepts. In previous video we had discussed what is if else, if else, nested if else, and in this session we'll be discussing how to debug the programs. What is debugging? Why to debug? When to debug? And what is the way, what is breakpoint? All these points we will discuss today. What is debugging? Why to debug? How to debug? What is breakpoint? See, in real-time project experience, you have lots of code. Hundreds lines codes will be there in the program, and we know where the bug is. We debug the program. Why? Because my program may contain any bug. For example, here there is one bug. For example, something problem here. Syntactically everything is correct. Syntax will be everything is correct, but thing is here maybe you may have one bug here at certain line. So we have to analyze the line number from line number 1. We have to analyze from line number 1 to line number 100. For example, 100 lines I want to analyze, and I want to find where is the bug is. To find the bug, we should debug. To find the bug, we should debug the program. We have to debug the program because maybe my program contains logical errors or runtime errors. If my program has some wrong inputs or some logical errors or any runtime errors, we had to debug. And we'll see today how to debug. First, we'll understand these 4 points. What is debugging? Why to debug? How to debug? And what is breakpoint? A debugger is a program that helps you find out what is going on computer from line number 1 to line number 100, for example. Or you can say that debugs helps you analyze, inspects line by line. Debugger helps you to analyze this one. Debugs helps you to analyze, inspects the program line by line. And if you want to analyze or inspect the program line to line, we have to debug. To debug the program. Right. Now, why to debug? If there are runtime errors or logical errors, runtime errors or logical errors, or for example, any wrong inputs. If there are some wrong inputs, we had to debug. If there are any runtime errors, logical errors, wrong inputs, or any bugs are there, if there are any bugs in your program, we have to debug the program. Debug the program. And what is breakpoint? See, a breakpoint is a point in the program where the program stops. For example, have 100 lines of code. Suppose this is my editor PyCharm, and there are some lines here. There are some 100 lines of code. This is, and for example, I don't want to debug from line number 1 to 10. So I want to debug from here, from this line. I want to debug from this line. So what I'll do, I'll put one point, a point. Here I'll put one point here. This is one a breakpoint. I'll put one point here so that the debugger starts from here, from 10th line. From 10th line, it starts to analyze line by line, because I don't want to debug this part. I don't want here. I don't want to debug this part, this upper part. First 10 lines I want to debug, but from 10th line I want to debug. So what I'll do here, I'll put one breakpoint. So breakpoint is a point in the program where the program intentionally stops or pauses from that for debugging purpose. Right? And last is what? How to debug the program. How to debug the program, we will see practically. So in previous video session, we had discussed one program, how to print the greatest of 3 numbers. how to print the greatest of 3 numbers, we'll debug this program. So, what I do here, I'll put one breakpoint. Just now, what I do, my first step is to put a breakpoint. If you want to put a breakpoint, see, I don't want to debug from line number 1. The main program logic starts from line number 5. So, what I'll do here, I'll put one breakpoint at line number 5. And what I'll do here, please bring cursor here at line number 5, then put one breakpoint. Click on this, single click. When you single click, you will get one red color circle at line number 5. We got one circle. Now, from this point, so this red color circle is called breakpoint. So, it won't debug from line number 1 to 3, and it starts debugging from line number 5. So, what I do here, I will click on this bug icon. See, there is one icon here, bug icon. So, from this, when I click on this bug icon, one blue color line came here, one blue color line came here. Means the program control stops at line number 5. From this point, I want to debug. So, here there is one button called in the left hand side, here there is one button called step over or a function called effect. Now, I want to debug from here, line number 5. So, what I will do, I will click on this step over, means I want to go to the next step. Now, here x is greater than y, 100 is greater than 200, no, the condition is false. The condition is false, okay. So, the condition is false means line number 5 is false. Means it won't, this program control, this blue color highlight line, it won't go to line number 6. Why? Because the condition is false. It jumps to line number 7, next condition, second condition. So, when I click on this step over, it goes to line number 7. See, it came to line number 7. Now, y is greater than x, 200 is greater than 100. Yes, this is true. This condition is true. And operator, y greater than z, 200 is greater than 300. No, 200 is not greater than 100. It is false. So, the entire expression is false. Means this program control will skip this line number 8. Why? Because the condition is false. Second condition is false. So, when I click on this step over, directly jumps to line number 10, because line number 5 is false, line number 7 is false, jumps to line number 10. Yes, it jumped to line number 10, and finally we will get output. It will execute this this line number 10. It will execute, that is z is greater, that is z is greater, right. So, in previous video we discussed nested if else. So, what we will do, we'll debug nested if also. So, what I will do here, I will write one condition here, I will put one comment here. If all are positive, all the above numbers are positive, then print greatest of 3 numbers. If all the numbers are positive, then print greatest of 3 numbers. In these 3 numbers, if any one of the number is negative, then print negative numbers are not allowed. If any one of the above numbers are negative, print one message. What message? Negative numbers are not allowed. So, this is example for nested if else. Numbers are not allowed. Yes. So, what I will do here, now I will write one outer if. At line number 8, I will write one outer if main bracket x greater than 0, means this number is positive or negative, okay, and condition and logical operator y greater than 0, second condition, and also it should satisfy another condition, what, z should be greater than 0, okay. This logic is for checking whether it is positive or negative. So, this is outer if. So, I will put one indentation here, and when I put indentation here, okay, we have to give some gap, some space, some gap should be there. So, this is inner else now, some gap is there, okay. Now, again, yes, gap, okay, this is inner else, gap, and I will write outer else now. this is outer else, line number 16 is outer else. Else print what? If any one of the number is negative, then it should print negative numbers are not allowed. So, what will you here? I will say negative numbers are not allowed. Yes. Now, here what I will do? I will put one breakpoint, not at line number this one. I will put a breakpoint at line number 8 because my main program logic starts from line number 8. So, what I will do? I will put one breakpoint at line number 8. Yes, because line number 1, line number 2, line number is just declaration of variables and assigning the values of variables, but main logic starts from line number 8. So, I put a breakpoint at line number 8, single click, you will get this red color circle, right. Then I want to start debugging. So, if you want to start debugging, so click here on the menu here, there is one bug icon, there is one bug icon here, there is one bug icon. On this bug icon, click on here. So, the program control, this blue color highlight line stopped here. From this point, I want to debug, I want to inspect line by line from this point. Now, x is greater than 0, 100 is greater than 0, yes, it is true. 200 is greater than 0, true, and 300 is greater than true. So, this entire expression is true, this outer if is true. Now, when I click on this step over, it comes to line number 10, because it comes to inner if, it comes to inner if now, because outer if is true, right. Now, it came to inner if, again it checks the condition, what is 100 is greater than 200? No. So, this line number 10 is false, and when I click on this step over, so this is step over, this is step over, when I click on this step over, what happens? It will come to, it will not go to line number 11 because the condition is false. The condition is false, it comes to line number 12. Now, again checks the condition, what is y greater than x? 200 is greater than 100, yes, this is true. This is true, and it checks y greater than z. 200 is greater than 300? No. Again, this line number 12 becomes false. The entire expression becomes false, and it directly jumps to line number 15. When I click on this step over, what happens? It comes to line number 15. Yes, it came to line number 15 and it executes z is greater. Z is greater. We got the output as z is greater, right? Okay, now what I will do? I will change the values now. I will change the values. Here what I will do? Here I will assign one value called negative number. Negative number given as minus 200. Okay. Then again I will start debugging. So, I will click on this debug icon. Exactly it stops at line number 8. Now, it will check the condition. Is 100 is greater than 0? Yes, the condition is true. Is 200 minus 200 is greater than 0? No, this is false. This is false. Why? Because it is a negative number. And when you got one negative number, it should display negative numbers are not allowed. So, this condition is false. This outer else is false. When outer else is false, it won't go to line number 10. It won't go to line number 10. That is inner if. It directly jumps to where? Line number 17. So, when I click on this step over, directly jumps to line number 17, and it will print negative numbers are not allowed. And finally, click on this step over. So, you will get output as negative numbers are not allowed. So, this is a way to debug the programs. Practice is how to debug the programs. From day 1 you have to practice. You will become perfect on how to debug the programs. Okay. In next session we will discuss about match case.